Alright, so something, I know I already posted tonight, but I thought of something else. Something that really makes me angry are people who make jokes about Tourette. And, okay, let's just start with the basics here with this Tourette's jokes thing. Okay, Tourette's jokes, bad. Plain and simple, bad. Do not joke about Tourette's. Not funny, okay? Like, yeah, sometimes it has its funny moments, but if you don't have Tourette's, don't joke about it. I'm sorry, but if you don't have Tourette's and you don't have, someone who you know really, really well, like, a sibling or, your parents or a kid or a best friend or whatever if you don't have that kind of relationship with someone who has Tourette's, you are not qualified to make a Tourette's joke. I'm sorry. And if you do make a Tourette's joke and you do have Tourette's and you are somebody who knows somebody with Tourette's really, really well, there's still like a line on what's okay and what's not. I feel like in public, I don't care what you say to me in private, honestly. Like, my sisters, my sorority sisters are hilarious and I love them to death, and they make comments about my tics a lot and it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, they're also not malicious at all, and I know that. They make comments like, "Oh, that's so cute," and yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I'm like, "Oh, you want it because you can have it." It's really not cute when you punch yourself in the face repeatedly, but yeah, I mean, my little squeaking sounds, my barks, yeah, those are cute. And my tics that look like sneezes and my blinks, yeah, okay, some of my tics are cute, and yeah, they cause funny moments, but they're not funny. I'm sorry. You're not me, and you don't deal with the pain that I deal with and that other people with Tourette's deal with, and I'm sorry, but in public you're not qualified to make that joke. In private, you are barely qualified to make that joke, so make it a good one, okay? Like, make it a good joke. And people with Tourette's, like, yeah, I like to joke about it with my friends and like with my family and stuff like that, but at the same time, like, that's also in private. I don't make out in the open jokes about it in public or anything. I don't acknowledge it very much in public. If it's distracting, like today I had a really awkward tic. My whole class was like absolutely silent and I like barked, and the girls in my group, my work group in class, like giggled and blah blah blah. And I just make a comment like, "Oh yeah, I have Tourette's." Like, yeah, that was really funny. Blah blah blah. I have Tourette's. But yeah, I mean, that's different, I guess, than making a joke. That's just making a comment. I don't like Tourette's jokes because they're not funny. Like, Tourette's isn't yelling inappropriate things or doing inappropriate things all the time. Like, yeah, some people do that, and if you do, like, I'm really sorry. That really sucks. I used to have copropraxia tic, and it sucked, especially because I am a pre-teacher in early childhood and elementary. Right now, I'm co-teaching a kindergarten class one day a week. Like, yeah, I cannot have, the middle finger tic or anything. I can't do it and be good in my any good in my career. So I really had to work hard at retraining that tic, and it sucked. So I mean, I can't even like begin to think that I feel your pain if you have coprolalia or like severe copropraxia. But I do understand, and in some way. And I think that it's really offensive that people assume that that's what all Tourette's is. Especially because when I was first pre-diagnosed, my senior year of high school, when I was diagnosed with anxiety, they told me that they thought I also had a tic disorder. Well, they knew I had a tic disorder, but they thought it was Tourette's. They weren't sure. And I told some of my friends, or I thought they were my friends, my classmates. I was in the AP honors track, so I had class with the same 20 to 30 people all 4 years of high school, and most of them, or a lot of them, had gone to elementary and middle school with me too. And so when I told them, they said I was lying, because of one of two reasons. Some said I was lying because I didn't yell random obscene things all the time. Okay, ignorant, right? The other people said I was lying because it just doesn't show up like that. And they had never noticed my tics that classified my tic disorder because they were very subtle. I didn't even recognize them until they told me that they thought I had Tourette's, and then I was like, oh, like, okay, I've had a tic disorder all my life, like that makes sense. Nobody thought anything of it because it wasn't disruptive. I just had like the hard blinks and like a couple other things that were really mild. And then when I was, 17, 18 years old, it just kind of exploded. And, that doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. And people don't realize that. But, the jokes about coprolalia and copropraxia are the main reason I think that everybody thinks that you can't have Tourette's unless you yell obscene things all the time. Because people don't joke about the other parts of Tourette's. Like, okay, yeah, if you saw somebody punching themselves in the face, like, yeah, that would be funny, but it's not recognized as a Tourette's joke necessarily. It's just somebody punching themselves in the face. They could associate with Tourette's, and it would still be, kind of funny to most people, but, it's not the most recognized part. I don't know, I really don't appreciate Tourette's jokes at all. And it's really frustrating, and just the inappropriate use of the diagnosis. Like, I was reading an article today, and this is what really, made me angry about this. I was reading this article today that I would really hope was satire, but I don't think it was, and it was called, what was it called? I don't remember what it was called exactly, but it was talking about what the writer called rape Tourette's, which basically the ubiquitous use of the word rape now, it's lost its meaning, and women can accuse men falsely and blah 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 blah. This guy was like the anti-feminist. He was like, women suck and men deal with all this crap, blah 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 blah, and because of women. And it was a very interesting article, to say the least. But the fact that he could use the word rape Tourette's and no one had a problem with it, and the reason he was using it is because it's apparently a very frequently used word in female vocabulary, that was terribly, terribly offensive to me. I actually sent this guy a strongly worded email being like, dude, not cool, can't do that, sorry, GTFO. Yeah. So, if you really want to make a Tourette's joke, like, I know most of my subscribers are people who deal with Tourette's on a daily basis. If you really want to make a Tourette's joke, like, go ahead, but make sure you realize that even though you deal with it on a daily basis and you may think it's funny, and yeah, humor is a really good way to deal with stuff, the people around you are still affected by how you present the joke or whatever you're going to say about it. And if you give the person around you that you don't know, if they overhear it and you give them the wrong impression, like, that's going to stick with them, and then somebody else is going to have to deal with that later. I'm like, not trying to discourage you from using humor to deal with your situation, because I do it a lot, but like, just be aware of what you're saying. Even if you think it's a private conversation, like, if you're out in public at a restaurant, people can hear you talking. And, if you give someone the wrong impression, you're just going to reinforce the stereotypes. It's just how it is, and a lot of people don't think about that. And that applies to any situation. If you're trying to, like, actually change the way people think about things, which I like to do, I like to think that I do. As someone with Tourette's, I like to think that I change people's minds about what Tourette's is and how they view Tourette's, because I am an interesting case, I guess. That's what my doctor said anyway. I'm an interesting case. I don't know, I just kind of take offense to anything stereotypical because I'm not. But I don't know. It's your choice, of course. I don't want to like step on anyone's toes, but that's just how I feel about it. Thanks for watching, guys.